Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Friday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. New roofing company, name announced any day now. But in the meantime, you still call us at 364-1007, 364-1007. ProCharge EV, restoredmotions.com, and ProChargeEV.com. Okay, y'all, happy Friday. Hope your Friday morning is off to a fantastic start. A lot to get into today, as it will be a busy weekend. One of the reasons I love spring is, of course, football is great. Fall is great. We go deep dive into football, and everybody loves football, and I get it, and I do too. But spring, there's so much variety. There's so many different things to talk about. LSU baseball opens up their series at Mizzou this weekend. There are no more excuses. There is no more time to wait. Missouri is last place in the SEC East. They are 5-10. The only reason they're 5-10 is they swept a home series against Florida. Everything else has been pretty much status quo for them, which is they stink. Aside from that weekend where they swept Florida, they won 2 league games, 2 over the other 4. So not that different, honestly, from LSU. So in any event, Missouri's not good. They're dead last in the SEC in team batting average at 252. So if your pitching staff is struggling, going against Missouri's offense is a pretty good remedy. As far as their staff ERA, they're 11th in the SEC in staff ERA. Tonight's matchup is Gage Jump against Logan Lunsford. Logan Lunsford is a sophomore righty with an ERA north of 6. Please go win this baseball game tonight. You're a better team than they are. You've got a better pitcher on the mound. You've got more talent than they do. You've got future pros on your team. I get it that you're on the road and you're dejected and all because you've stunk to this point, but go win this baseball game. There is no reason that LSU should lose this baseball game. So go win this game tonight. And then if you do, you've got Holman on the bump in game 2 and try to go win a series. Okay. And then you just go. But one foot in front of the other, and there's got to be some urgency here. And it starts tonight with this game against Missouri. You better go win it. Pels Kings tonight as well. Your season's on the line. Win this game, you're into the playoff as the 8th seed. Lose this game, and your season is over. So you play the Kings. This is the team that you've beaten 5 out of 5 times this year. You played them once already this year without Zion, and you beat them 133-100. You dominated them. So sometimes, they are without Malik Monk. They are without Kevin Herter as well. So, two of their really good players. Look, they got De'Aaron Fox, who's a stud. We understand that. Pels are going to be without Z. You're getting BI back healthier, right? Played 23 minutes the other night, 25 minutes, whatever it was. 8:30 tonight on TNT. Go win this basketball game. The Kings are a 1.5 favorite, most likely reaction to the Zion injury. But the ESPN matchup predictor has the Pelicans with a 62% chance of winning this game. You're better than they are. You've beaten them 5 times. Go win this game in advance. And speaking of advancing, well, that's not LSY. This would be LSU. LSU Gymnastics. I don't know what LSY is. LSU Gymnastics advances. So LSU Gym, they won their half of the semifinal. So LSU advances to 4 on the floor Saturday. Let me see very quickly. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Y'all, Oklahoma collapsed. Didn't advance. Oh my God. Oklahoma's a back-to-back national champion, and they are awesome. And I'm just seeing now that they didn't advance out of last night's half of the semifinals. So it's LSU, Cal, Utah, and Florida are the Final 4. Y'all, this is by a mile. I kind of just got a little bit of goosebumps. This is by a mile the best chance LSU has ever had to win the national championship in gymnastics. Not only are they the best team remaining of the four, but the best team in the country, Oklahoma, is out. So, wow, LSU Saturday, tune in because LSU has a legitimate chance to win the program's first national championship ever. That's incredible. That also goes to illustrate what can happen in gymnastics. So, good. You got to go have your best meet when it counts the most. Doesn't matter what you did all year if you don't have your best meet when it counts the most. Okay, let's say some good mornings here. Matt Plavidal, good morning. Can you ask Shay about Jakeem Stewart, reclassified to 2025? I think I thought somebody asked about that when I had Shay on the other day, but I will. Remind me, please, next Tuesday when Shay's here, but I will. Bart St. Germain, what up, Bart? Good morning, man. Darren Reeves, whoop. Jason Horn, good morning. Busting out my Voodoo New Balance for the first time today. Jason, so honest to goodness, I haven't worn mine either. And yesterday, I don't know if you remember, I had on the red and blue shirt. I thought about busting them out yesterday. I had them in my hand, but I hadn't laced them yet. And I was a little bit of a hurry. So I was like, next time I wear red, I'm busting them out. So good push. Matt Lusto, happy halving day to all those who celebrate. And all those should celebrate. Of course, talking about the Bitcoin halving, and it's a great time for crypto. The only thing that I'll tell you, love to see all those green candles. The only thing that I'll tell you is everyone who in the last crypto cycle had FOMO and felt like they missed it. And I'm not just talking about Gamecoin, you'll know how I feel, but I'm talking about in general. The crypto cycles occur every 4 years in conjunction with the Bitcoin halving. So that's what Matt's referring to. So what you missed 4 years ago throughout that cycle, into the from 2020 halving into 2021, is about to happen again. So if nothing else, educate yourself. Like that's what I did. Whenever I was like, "Hey, what am I missing?" And so I just started listening to hours and hours and hours, like hours and hours of podcasts and YouTube, everything I could find on what is Bitcoin, what is crypto, how does it work, and educate yourself. Because whether you believe in a certain crypto project or not, the reality is blockchain technology is Web3. Just like we had the original webs, Internet 1.0, Web 1.0 was search engines, 2.0 was social media, 3.0 is blockchain, and we are all going to transact on the blockchain. Like everybody who said, "Oh, I'll never use email," or people who said, "I'll never have a Facebook," like people who say, "I'll never do blockchain," I don't get it. Right. Just like there was a point where you didn't get email and we all use it. Like blockchain is Web3 and we're all going to transact on the blockchain. So the sooner you learn more about it, the more opportunity there will be, if that makes sense. Okay. That's all I'll say. James McKinney, what's up? Randall Offright. Will LSU football be good enough to win a national championship this year? Randall, I think the offense will be. Jury is out on the defense, but again, I think they still have more players they're going to add via the portal. And we don't know how a 12-team playoff is going to look. So that's the big wild card. So I would say, given that you can't win if you don't get in the playoff, and it's a 12-team playoff, I think LSU could be good enough to be in a 12-team playoff. And if you're in a 12-team playoff, you got a shot. So I'd say they have a shot. If it was a 4-team, I would say no. I don't think that this team would be good enough to get into a 4-team playoff. But a 12-team playoff, I think they have a possibility of getting in, yes. Kelly Gross, Stephen Noob, can you let us know when you were on other SEC radio shows as a guest? Love those. Sure. I mean, usually, Steve, I'll tweet, when I'm going on someone's show, I'll be like going on now or whatever. So I would say just follow me on Twitter, even set notifications for when I tweet. So that way you'll see it when it happens. Christian, good morning. LSU Gymnastics to the Natty. No OU either. It's crazy. Tiger Diver, Brett DeGrow. Hope Oklahoma not advancing is the edge to Jim. Bring home the title. Oklahoma not advancing is stunning. I don't know. I'm trying to think of some context for this for those that don't follow gymnastics, but like Oklahoma is and has been by far like as great as LSU has been. Oklahoma I mean, they're back-to-back national champions. They were going for a three-peat. They, consistently, it's I mean, I'm reading this headline, Oklahoma Gymnastics suffers stunning collapse in NCAA gymnastics championships. I mean, it's true. I don't really know any other way to say it. Like, I'm trying to think that would be like Tennessee a couple of years ago not making it to Omaha. The Tennessee team 2 years ago that had the best regular season ever that didn't make it to Omaha, that's like Oklahoma not making it to the 4 on the floor. That's the best comp. Like, they collapsed. I didn't watch it last night. I watched LSU's during AFR, but I didn't see what happened in the other semis, but it's kind of incredible. Jesse Brown, morning, Matt. Can you see a scenario where the Saints take 2 tackles with their first 2 draft picks? Maybe, Jesse. I mean, if there's more there about Ramczyk we don't know, like if the Saints know that Ryan Ramczyk is not going to play again, then I could see that scenario, yes. I don't think that's gonna happen. Not the Ramczyk part, I just don't think it's gonna happen that they take tackles with their first 2 picks, um but I guess it could if they obviously know more about Ramczyk than we do. Joey B19, how do you feel about Holman going to game 2 again? Isn't it called Friday Night Ace for a reason? Look, you can strategize however you want on a weekend. And if they feel like jump gives them an edge, saving Holman to go against, because Missouri's holding their best guy for game 2 as well. So you feel like that gives you a better chance to win game 2. I mean, at this point, Jay's out there trying to win a weekend, and it's not just about win Friday, it's about win the weekend. So, and you stink on Sunday. So you have to put yourself in a position where it doesn't matter. Okay, if Holman wins game 1 and you're disadvantaged game 2 and you lose, then what does it matter? So set the matchups how you have to. Deborah Coward, good morning. Great night for gymnastics. Damon Gilmore, Abner Neal, thanks again about the Evermore. My wife now drinks 2 to 3 glasses a day. It's pretty incredible. Like, and honestly, this is weird, y'all. Random aside, and I'm only bringing this up because it's fresh on my mind because I spent a lot of time last night. Like, have any of y'all, I'm curious, ever heard about, follow content, listen to Gary Brecka? So some of you may roll your eyes. I genuinely don't know. This is not an endorsement. I'm asking. Because I was listening to, I love the podcast How I Built This, and a recent episode. It's a podcast basically where people who built big businesses tell the story of how they built their business. That's basically the gist. And a recent episode was about the lady who built Whole30, which I didn't know anything about. And so now, because I listened to that episode, I'm getting targeted with a whole bunch of like health content. And so Gary Brecka starts popping up in my feed. And to oversimplify, he's a human biologist, and he just takes it like an alternate way to look at how things work in the body and health and all different types of stuff. It's pretty fascinating. So I ended up listening. I watched like an hour-long YouTube interview that he did with Brad Lee, and I'm starting to listen to I started to listen last night to his episode on the Joe Rogan Experience. It was about a 2-hour interview. So fascinating stuff. Anyway, all that because he talks about like pH in your water is part of it, which Evermore, of course, it's one of the great benefits of Evermore. But it's so much more than that. Like I bought the kit to do the cheek swab to learn about your genetic mutations. Anyway, you'd have to. I'm interested, by the way. I no endorsement whatsoever. Have no idea. It might be all bupkis, but I'm curious enough to have bought the kit to do the cheek swab and learn about all that stuff to learn more. So I'll report. I'm curious if anybody's done it. Let me know your experience. Yes, and drink Evermore. Chris P, Lowell Cormier, everyone have a great weekend. Hey Becky, good morning. Dad, what's up? Brent, good morning. Lisa, have a great weekend. Okay. Lily's in town. Hey Dad, tell them that the St. Jude Fair is going on this weekend. So I'm going to bring Drew over there for part of the day Saturday. If Laura wants to go ride rides and stuff, I'll call. I'll call you. I'll call you. Gorilla, what up? Antron Hemingway, good morning. Von Bluesman, Eric, LSU minus 210 today seems certifiably insane, right? Or am I just beaten into a state of depression? You're beaten into a state of depression, Eric. You don't realize like how bad Missouri is. And to which you're going to say, well, how bad is LSU? To which I'm going to say, yes. However, LSU's also played Arkansas and Vanderbilt and Florida and Tennessee. And so, yes, the record is also a product of who you have played. So LSU is a better team than Missouri. Missouri's dead last in the SEC in offense. Their pitcher tonight has an ERA north of 6. Yes, they're at home, but Missouri is the worst team in the league. Like I can confidently say that Missouri is the worst baseball team in the league, and by the end of the season, that will probably show. What's your favorite trick play in Tigers football history? Trick play. I mean, just first one that comes to mind would be 07 against South Carolina, the flip over the head. The first time we saw the flip over the head, the fake field goal with Colt David. I'm sure there's others I'm missing, but that's the first one that comes to my mind, so I'd go with that. Larry Garner, Mark, good morning. Bill, what up? Trivia Carter, Bubba, Jeff, Hunter. Trivia, when do football tickets become available? You mean like season tickets or like individual game tickets? Usually, because like if you're talking about tickets for Vegas, like for the game against USC, when LSU gets their allotment, like they send the packets out to season ticket holders to see who wants tickets. Then when they have a remaining allotment, then that goes on sale to the public. But I mean, you'd be talking about sometime over the summer. Tim Gautreau, Luis Alamán, Reed Rule, happy Friday. Pels at home versus a team they went 5-0 against in the regular season. When it actually matters, I'll be betting on the Kings. Yeah, Reed, I just flatly disagree with you. I think the Pels win this game and they win it handily tonight. This is one of those matchups where, like we say, styles make fights, and in the same way that the Pels struggle against the Lakers, they've dominated the Kings. It's a matchup that favors New Orleans. The size and length gives Sacramento problems. I'm not just talking about Jonas, but I'm talking about a guy like Trey. I mean, McCollum 6'3" is the smallest guy that the Pels have on the floor. When you look at Herb and Trey, Jonas, of course, like the Pels' length is going to give Sacramento problems. Now, could De'Aaron Fox go off for 50 tonight and the Kings win? Yes, it's the NBA and that could happen. But I think there's a reason why the Pels have had success against this team. They're a better matchup against the Kings. So I think the Pels win tonight. I do. I think they go into the OKC series, and if Zion were healthy, I might have even picked the Pelicans to win that series. But without Zion, it's hard to imagine them advancing. Rocky, what up, man? Mark, will NOLA be a basketball city tonight? Pack out a big game? Yes, they will pack the blender tonight. It will be a great environment. New Orleans is still an event town, and that's an event going on tonight, and people will be there. Yes. Ryan, LSU gym to the Natty makes it better. You have the best gymnast in the country, Haley Bryant, SEC Gymnast of the Year, all-around title last night. Not only is Haley the best in the country, she's the best in LSU history. I try to explain that to people who are maybe casual gym fans who are trying to maybe get on board late, which is fine. I'm not saying, oh, you're bandwagon. I'm not saying that at all. Just for those that haven't watched, like we watch every meet. She is the best gymnast in the history of the LSU program. The AAI award, which Ryan mentioned, is the gymnastics equivalent of the Heisman. So LSU's had Susan Jackson, Ashley Natt, and Sarah Finnegan have won that before Haley. So Haley's the fourth to win it. Not only that, but she leads all time in perfect tens, and by the time she's done, she'll lead all time in all-around wins and SEC championships and national championships and All-American honors. Like, she is the greatest. Like, you're watching the equivalent of Joe Burrow or who Shaq. I mean, whoever you feel, Pete Maravich, like the greatest in the history of the program. Like, that's who that is. So, and I'll just plant the seed, but Haley Bryant does have a COVID year if she wants to take advantage of it. Just saying. Jason Horn, Brad Wing, fake punt. Yeah, against Florida for sure. Trivia game ticket trying to go to the LSU UCLA game. Got it. Trivia, you'll be able to swing that. Just keep in touch. You'll be able to swing that. Jessica Sanchez, good morning. She is the better half of Chuck Sanchez of What's Up, Chuck? Get It Up, Chuck fame. So good morning to the Sanchez family. Hope you all doing great. Of course, Jessica also with Brock. And as I continue to remind you, you're running out of time. Oh, is today the deadline? Today is the deadline. Okay, so brortho.com, the game day prep, which is coming up on May the 11th. That's a Saturday. So for individual athletes, schools, or teams, Brock is doing free physicals for middle school, high school athletes in the greater Baton Rouge area. But you got to register by today. So if you have a son or daughter that's in middle school or high school, you want to get their physical, or the entire school or the entire team, you got to register by today. So go to brortho.com, hit the foundation tab at the top, and you'll see game day prep. Boom, it's easy. It's right there. You just fill out the form. So again, Saturday, May the 11th. But to register, you got to register today. So go to brortho.com. Help share that out there. brortho.com. Where are we? Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. Let's see. Mark. Latoya Cantrell wants everyone to wear red for the Pelicans today and the sudden death game tonight at Smoothie King. Cool. Wear red. Skinner, ZZ Top. I am not going to Skinner and ZZ Top. I will be in Lafayette next Wednesday, however, for Nate Bargatze. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to do AFR in Lafayette at Tap Room. So anyone who lives in Lafayette, by the way, Sean, if you're watching, this coming Wednesday, AFR in Lafayette, Tap Room, River Ranch from 3 to 6, and then heading over to the Cajun Dome after for Nate Bargatze. So looking forward to that. What up, Jerry? Good morning, man. Think the Tigers need to sweep Mizzou to start the second half of the season. Jerry, look, man, I would love it if they swept Mizzou. They need to win a series. Okay, they just need to win the weekend. Like, I'm not banking on, hoping for, counting on LSU sweeping anybody. They're not good enough to do it. So, like, can it happen? Sure. But mostly, like, I'm doing math here. And if you need to get to 13, excuse me, if you need to get to 13 wins, which I think is the basement, the low bar to get into regional play. You're at 3 right now. You need 10. You got 5 weekends left. You win your next 5 weekends. You get to 13. Now, you do play Texas A&M next week. They're number 1 in the country. Now, that's at home. And maybe that's one when you could only win a game, which means you'd have to sweep somewhere along the way. I would say that, honestly, I think the opportunity to sweep Auburn or Ole Miss is greater than your opportunity to sweep Missouri on the road. I'd rather you do it at home, or think it's a better chance to do it at home. Like, if they sweep this weekend, awesome. But really what you have to do is you just have to go win a weekend. Johnny, good morning. Jerry saw ZZ Top and Skinner back in the 70s. Bet you had a good night, Jerry. You hanging out with Musso's friends, Puff the Magic Dragon, maybe a little bit back at ZZ Top in the 70s. Cool. Bills in Lafayette. It'll be a Nate. This is gonna be a fun show next week. Erica's coming over too. Some of our friends are gonna come. It'll be a good night. Brett, Oklahoma not advancing is like South Carolina losing the Final Four last season. That's a good analogy. That's a really good analogy. So, like, had LSU last year in the national championship had to play South Carolina instead of Iowa, you probably don't win. That was a bad matchup for you. I'm not saying LSU, the gym team, couldn't have beaten Oklahoma. I'm just saying someone else took care of the biggest hurdle. That's all. Jerry, crazy, bro. Todd, Ryan, Taylor, good morning, y'all. All right, good morning. All right, it's 8 o'clock. I got to get going. Y'all do me a favor. Please smash that like button, subscribe button to the channel. Facebook, like the Matt Moscona page, share the post. We appreciate y'all for being there with us as always. Shout out to Brock, the manager of the Orthopedic Clinic. And, of course, the new roofing company name will be announced any day now. Looking forward to it. We'll have hats and swag and all kind of stuff and looking forward to it. But in the meantime, we're still operational, so you can give us a shout at 364-1007, the to-be-named later roofing company, 364-1007. All right. Y'all have an awesome day. LSU Daily is live, AFR at 3. We'll see you. Peace.